Hi, I'm Denise Gorse from Loyola Press, joined by Becky Eldredge for an Ignatian conversation. Becky Eldredge is an Ignatian-trained spiritual director, retreat facilitator, and author of two books, The Inner Chapel and Busy Lives and Restless Souls. Becky joins us from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Welcome, Becky.
Hello, Denise. I'm glad to be here.
What would you like to tell readers to encourage them in continuing on an Ignatian path?
Oh, can I have more than one thing?
Absolutely.
Well, immediately what comes to mind is for us to not forget this path is a pathway to God. It is a pathway to not, it's like first we get to know God and then we come to know Jesus, who we can keep coming to know and love and follow and serve and and then through that, there's this whole widening of understanding of the Holy Spirit and how the Holy Spirit works in our lives and then in God's goodness, we get to learn a little bit more about ourselves. And then that bleed, again, the ripple, and then how that comes out into the world. And so, which helps us get to know more people and to work to bring more people into union with God and in each other. And so, for us to not forget this path we're on is about God, right? This path of God and I think it's a path of hope, and I have said so many times these last few years to people, I am so glad I had Ignatian tools in my pocket to maneuver the last 3 years. All the pivots, to have tools that help me pray through the news, the sorrow, the sadness, the hurt, um, in a way that helps me not feel despairing. I mean, just to be able to say, when I look at the world and I feel sorrow, to know that that sorrow is an experience of being with God, right? It's an ache of Christ in the world, and that we're being invited to share in that longing that Christ has for us. I think I would be in a different place if it wasn't if it wasn't for this pathway that brings hope. I mean, I think the Ignatian path, the Ignatian tools, the Ignatian discernment wisdom, they're like life rafts that can keep us afloat in really dark times, times of loss, collective grief, which we've experienced so much of. And so that's what I would want to tell people. And probably the other piece besides, hey, it's a pathway to God, it's a path of hope, is to imagine how much more we have to discover. And I mean, that's what I think a spiritual path, like our great schools of spirituality, which Ignatian spirituality is one of them, is no matter where we are, how deep we are in our faith, or how intimate we think we've grown in our relationship with God, there is so much more. And that is, I mean, that keeps me showing up every day in prayer. I mean, that keeps me going forward in this call to, write and accompany people as a spiritual director and in retreats and teaching and all. And um, because God's got more for us. Isn't that cool to think about, Denise?
Oh, I love that. And I think that's a great place to end our conversation. God's got more for us. But thank you, Becky, so much for sharing with us today and giving us some great things to think about on our Ignatian pathway.
Thank you, Denise. I always love to hang out with you. So
And thank you to our viewers for joining us. Visit us at ignatianspirituality.com for more Ignatian inspiration. Peace.